Okay, section 7.1. The nice thing about 7.1 is we're also going to do 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, which is just 7.1 broken up into 3 more sections. Okay, so we're going to do 3 main things today, and then over the course of the rest of the week, we're going to do them again. Okay, so 7.1 is about motion in a plane. Okay, your book says rigid motion in the plane. I'm not really worried about the word rigid, but be aware that your book does say that when you say it. Okay, first thing we need to do, since we've never really done anything like this, we do need to do some definitions here. Okay, your first definition is the image. And actually, before we get to that, what is a plane? What does that mean? Say that. What's that again? It's a flat surface. How far does that extend, Jacob? Does it just stop? No. It goes on forever, right? Up and down, left and right, or if it was a flat surface like your table, okay, front, back, left, right. Okay, a plane goes forever in every direction. Okay. An image is just your, I would call it your final product. Okay, or your ending image. Okay, your new image. Your final product. Or your new product. Okay? So it's what you get at the end, right? Not what you start with, it's what you end with. Okay, what you start with is called your pre-image. Your pre-image would be your original image. Which makes sense, right? It's pre. It comes first. If you're taking a pre-test, that would come from before your test. Okay, it's a pre-test. Okay. Now we have to be careful because they're going to tell you, sometimes they're going to tell you something like triangle ABC is mapped onto triangle DEF. Okay? What did you start with? You start with DEF. When I said that sentence, did I start with DEF? I started with ABC, right? I'm taking ABC and I'm mapping it onto DEF. So my pre-image, what I started with was what? ABC, and I mapped it onto my image, which is DEF. Okay, just be aware of that. Okay, when you're mapping something onto it, okay, what you start with comes first. Okay, now the other definition that we need to know here is called a transformation. A transformation, okay, it's basically what are you doing? Okay, what is happening? How are you, or what operation maps the pre-image onto the image. Okay, how are you getting from the beginning to the end? How is that happening? Okay, what operation maps the pre-image onto the image? Now with that, we have a whole, or we don't have a whole bunch, I guess, but we have 3 different types of transformations that we need to talk about. Did you ever get that? Okay, so let's just, your book doesn't do this, but I want to talk about the types of transformations. You are probably going to know some of these, if not all of these. Okay? First one is called a reflection. Mark this off. Okay? What does it mean to reflect something? It's kind of a tough thing to define. Can I reflect something over anything? Can I reflect over a line? Yeah. It's always going to be a line that you reflect over. You can't reflect over a point. Okay? Does it matter if it's vertical, horizontal, diagonal? No, you should always be able to reflect over something. Okay, now I also want you to keep in mind, when you do a reflection, everything's backwards now, right? Okay? If A, let's just do this real quick. Okay? Instead of A being on the left of B, when I reflect it, A is where? It's on the right of B. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay? Now A would be over here, and that's actually going to be A prime. We'll get to that later. Okay, it's going to look something like that. Okay, you're just flipping it over. Okay, just like when you look in a mirror. If you look in a mirror and you touch your left ear, in the mirror it looks like you're touching your right ear, right? Okay, it's backwards. Okay, it's a reflection. Another type of transformation is a rotation. We know what it means to rotate, right? Okay, you're taking something and I don't know how else to describe it other than the fact that you're rotating it. Okay? Now you got to be careful, because when we talk about rotations, you're going to talk about different types of rotations. Okay? Maybe you rotate it clockwise. Maybe you rotate it counterclockwise. Maybe you rotate it 90 degrees. Maybe you rotate it 80 degrees, 45 degrees, 180 degrees, okay, 270 degrees. Does that make sense, everybody? And you're going to have to pay close attention. Do they go clockwise? Do they go counterclockwise? Because that's going to make a big difference. Okay? And your last one is a translation. A translation. All that this means is it's just a shift, basically, would be the best way that I would describe it. It's a shift. You're sliding. Your book at one point, maybe section 5, I think, maybe 4, talks about calling it a glide. Okay? It all means the same thing. Okay? You're taking it and you're pushing it over. Now, you might have 2 translations at once. Maybe you shift it right and down. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. It's still a translation. Okay, so you have your reflection, rotation, translation are your 3 different types of transformations. And again, those are the 3 where after today we're going to split those up and we're going to do one of those each day, but a little more in depth. Okay. Now, let's just draw this real quick. Let's do a reflection. Okay, so I have this triangle here, and I want to reflect it over line L. Okay, so we're going to do, and the way they're going to say this is we're going to do a reflection in line L, is how they're going to word this. Okay, don't let that confuse you. It just means you're reflecting it over line L. Okay, so let's go ahead and give these some points, A, B, C. Is B still going to be closest to the line? Yeah, but it's going to be on the other side now, right? Okay, so it's going to be somewhere right in here. Okay, now once you do a transformation, that's not B anymore, because I changed it, right? It's not in that same place anymore. I moved it, but it's still based off of B. So that's going to be what we call B prime. Okay? Anytime you have a prime marker, that means it came second, or third, or fourth, okay, but it wasn't first. Okay, so which one of these is the pre-image? B, and then the image is B prime. Okay, so now we need to do A. Now I would suggest, sometimes you just need to count. Okay, well this is about 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, about 4 hashes away, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be somewhere right in there. Do I expect it to be perfect? No, I'm not going to bust out a ruler on you guys. Okay, and that would be A what? Prime. Okay, and then the last one I need to do is C. Well, C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be somewhere right up in here, and that's going to be what? C prime. Good. And then you can just go ahead and connect your points. Now, is it perfect? No, probably not. Is it close? Yeah, it's close enough for my satisfaction. Hey, do your best here. I don't expect everybody to be a first artist, because I obviously am not. Do your best. This is a what? In what? The reflection in line. Okay, let's do a rotation. Now, it's typically going to be fairly easy to rotate about a point if it's on that figure. Okay, so I'm going to do one that's not on that figure. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. I'm going to do this point down here. Okay, I want to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise about point A. Which way is clockwise? This way, right? Okay. Like you guys would think of maybe tightening bolts or screws. Righty-tighty. Okay, that's clockwise. Okay. Now, we got to be careful here. And what I would do, because this is going to be a little challenging if you don't take your time and be careful with this. I would connect that point with a point on my figure. Looks like maybe it even makes a right angle in that case, right? Now, if I'm going 90 degrees, if this line is vertical, in 90 degrees it's going to be what? Horizontal, this way, right? Okay, so go ahead and draw that. And you want to obviously make it about the same length. Okay, that would make 90 degrees, right? If I went from here to here. That'd be 90 degrees. Okay, now, so that means that I have this point. Correct? Now let's do this point. Well, from this point, that point is where? 90 degrees going directly left, right? Well, if I rotate it 90 degrees, instead of left, that's now going to be what? Up. Now I have my other point. And now this is the harder one, because this kind of at an angle. This, to get to this point, I go up and a little bit left, right? Well, when I change 90 degrees, up changes to right, a little bit left changes to a little bit up. So it's somewhere right in here. And then we just kind of go on. Now you can see why that could be a little challenging, right? It's not perfect with right angles, 90 degrees, stuff like that. Things can get a little bit more challenging. Do your best. And when you look at this, can you kind of visually see, okay, that was horizontal, now it's vertical. That's 90 degree rotation, right? If it wasn't, if I accidentally drew this line and it was angled, would I have done a 90 degree rotation? No, because if this is perfectly horizontal, when I rotate it 90 degrees, it needs to be vertical. That part could be a little challenging. Okay, so be careful on that. Pre-image or the image? Pre-image, this is the image. What was our third type of transformation? Translation. This will be everybody's favorite one. Why? Yeah, it's pretty easy, right? You just shift it, even if you don't draw perfect triangles. If you'd like to be draw triangles with curves on them, okay, just do your best. I don't expect them to be perfect, but I do expect you to know what a reflection, rotation, translation is, and I expect to be able to tell which one you did.